Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Funny Business Podcast. We must be doing something right because you guys keep coming back, and I guess that makes us feel pretty good. We are in the middle of spooky season right now. It is, I can't believe we're in spooky season. Mike, the other day I was driving around my neighborhood, and I was like, this was like this past weekend, and I'm like, man, like people already have the Halloween decorations up. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's so early. And then I thought to myself, I'm like, Matt, we're in the middle of October.
You know what's even spookier, Matt?
What is?
The fact that CVS literally has candy, Halloween candy, on like the right-hand side and like some stuff for Halloween. And then immediately to the left is a bunch of Santa Clauses just lined up on the side.
It is weird how like businesses always like prepare for like Christmas in September, and they prepare for back to school in June when you just get out of June. It's like, can't we just enjoy the time we're in now? Why do we have to rush ahead months ahead?
I think the best place that does that is Walmart.
Yeah.
Walmart literally just kicks it as far as being able to be ahead on time for holidays. So
I feel like Walmart has their Christmas stuff up in like July.
Well, it is Christmas in July if you think about it.
Well, that's true, but people don't really celebrate Christmas in July, except for the Hallmark Channel that puts on Christmas movies.
Well, Matt, I thought today, I did mention it to you a couple days ago that I have a slight take it, and when I mean slight, I mean
yes,
slight
that's
take
right.
It.
Yes.
I was talking to you about Dunkin' the other day, and you thought it was an insult to Dunkin'. To be completely honest, it is more of a compliment than there is an insult, but it's more of a compliment towards. It's more of an insult towards places in certain spots. Let me just say it. So I this past weekend I was down seeing my wonderful girlfriend Jenna, and I was heading back, to Dallas, Pennsylvania, and I ended up stopping at the Dunkin' of a gas station. I have not had a bad coffee at a Dunkin' gas station in comparison to a standalone Dunkin'.
That's actually true. Like I'm trying to think. There is one gas station, Dunkin', that I go to when I go into my old hometown, and it's some of the best Dunkin' I've ever had.
Mm-hmm. Definitely close to your area that you live in. Like I
Right.
stopped at that gas station. That was great. I get a mocha caramel iced coffee with cream and liquid sugar in case anybody wants to know. And the mocha absolutely on point at both gas stations. It seems like there's not enough mocha when you go to the standalone stations, but literally the gas stations, maybe it's just the gas. We don't know. Maybe it's just oil.
I hope not. That'd be kind of a little dangerous.
Well,
but no,
sauce.
like gas station Dunkins, maybe it's just because they don't get as much business. Like they put more like flavoring in there for you. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I feel like
gas station Dunkins are always consistent.
I feel like it's more effort and more time because when you're at the standalone Dunkin', I kid you not, anytime, any place you go to a standalone Dunkin', there's always a line at the drive-thru or at the front door.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and standalone Dunkins are very inconsistent. There's also so many like around here that like it's funny. Like there's so many, but I only have like a few that I actually like.
Well,
like there's one right by my house, and it's trash.
Even with chains are supposed to give you that consistent taste. Like you go to a McDonald's, no matter where you go, you get a quarter pounder or you get a Big Mac, it's going to taste the same no matter where you go. Dunkin', on the other hand, it's very challenging.
Yeah, it's weird because some people, it depends on the workers too. Like some workers put in more flavoring than others, or they put more cream in or more sugar. I personally don't get sugar in mine. I usually just do cream.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's hit or miss, but still, America runs on Dunkin'.
Oh, heck yeah, dude. And I might need that tomorrow when I make my way for car service. So, but Matt, we are going to actually jump into today's topics. I thought I would kind of keep them short and sweet. They are actually very fun today, very brand new, that a little bit more of an influence, which we'll get on later today. But what we wanted to talk about was the highlight of last week, today's pop culture political topic. Like we said at the Funny Business Podcast, we are business when we talk about things speaking out of racial injustice and other things that are certainly not readily acceptable in terms of society. But when it comes to politics, Matt and I are kind of like let's keep it off unless it's something very non-bipartisan, which go vote. whether it's mail in or in person. But what we wanted to talk about, because I feel like a segment is deserving of the segment to talk about it, was last week we had the one and only vice presidential debate between Vice President Mike Pence and Senator Kamala Harris of California. It ended up being very interesting with the politicking, I should say. But speaking of ticks, and more so with more insects, the highlight of the story, and Twitter went absolutely ballistic with this, is that a fly landed on Mike Pence's head during his debate, and it lasted on his head for 2 minutes.
Yeah, Twitter was just buzzing left and right on the fly. I was actually downstairs.
The fly. On the fly.
Yeah, it's funny. Everyone says I love to be a fly on the wall, and that was a fly on the vice president. But I was watching the Yankees at the time, and you texted me in all caps. You're like, Mike Pence has a fly on his head. In the middle of the game, I ran upstairs because my mother and brother were watching the debate, and I was like, "Where's the fly? I gotta see the fly." And I was late, but that fly stole the show. Twitter was insane. That people were making like fly accounts like instantly after it happened. The fly, you can't make this shit up.
No, you really can't. And even let's put it in context here, Matt. The vice presidential debates are literally it only happens once. There's one time that the vice presidents actually go at it with each other in comparison to the presidential debates, which are held 3 times. I think 3. Yes.
I think so. I don't know if they're doing another one.
I know my math. 3. They had one a couple weeks ago. They should have had one this week, and then they'll have one later on, which is like closer to the election day. However, this fly, I kid you not. It's one of those things where, and the weirdest thing, Matt, it's a moment in history. Like, if you think about it, the amount of times that people, throwing it all the way back to when Richard Nixon and John F. Kennedy were going at it in the very first presidential televised debate, that Nixon looked totally caught off guard, was not comfortable, and JFK was standing firm, standing tall, was very confident in himself. And that's history. Literally, this fly is going to be history, Matt. Like, it's just, I can't believe that we're talking about a fly on the podcast that literally stole the show of the vice presidential debate.
We're going to be on Twitter in like 5 years, and it's going to be like 5 years ago today, a fly landed on Mike Pence's head during the vice presidential debate. This is almost, now the other moment I'm going to reference isn't super funny, but it kind of is. Like, this is up there with the guy that threw his shoe at George W. Bush. Like, this is an all-time politics moment that everyone can just come together and laugh about. That a fly... Could you imagine if Pence, like, slapped his own head in the middle of the debate trying to kill the fly and he would have missed? Or if he would have, like, hit the fly and it would have died but stayed on his head? The internet would have broke.
My biggest thing is that, why didn't somebody tell him? Like, there's enough people, like, even the people in the back, they're going to be like, there's a fly on your head. Like, literally pointing at your head, like, go, like, fly, like, flap their arms like there's a fly on your head. Like, you could casually just go like this and fix your hair, unless Mike had a ridiculous amount of hairspray in his hair to keep his hair intact. But it's...
I don't know. Maybe it was just the heat of the moment. People didn't want to distract him from what was going on, so he didn't lose his train of thought. Who knows? But it's just, you couldn't picture... Again, we keep talking every week. This is like the most 2020 thing to happen. Like, of course, a fly landed on Mike Pence's head. Like, what else was going to happen during this debate? And again, this is just something people get so caught up on, what this person said, what that person said. Everyone just came together and just laughed at the fly. It was just a funny moment. It was kind of a nice, like, America gets to come together and laugh at what happened.
Now, I do have to give a nod to our we act like they're ours, the social media team for Joe Biden and his presidential campaign. There was a quick tweet that came out literally after Mike Pence had the fly in his head, and it literally has a picture of Joe Biden with a fly swatter and said, pitch in $5 to help this campaign fly. And it has 911,000 likes, 57 quoted retweets, and 217,000 retweets.
It's almost like they like planted this fly in there because they had that picture like instantly. makes you gotta stay a little woke on if this fly was an actual fly or if it was a robot fly.
What drives me nuts, and not drives me nuts, but it's just the readiness of the social media team, and we could talk about professionalism and as far as whatnot, but giving the social media team the go as far as, hey, we got this idea, can we take it on? And also too, they were selling fly swatters at the time too. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not see that. That is
they
pretty
were
cool.
selling fly swatters.
It's just one of those things where like you got to roll with the times and you got to roll with what's hot. And the fly was hot. Like Twitter and Facebook were buzzing about it, so you got to embrace it.
Yeah, I think he was actually on the road per se. Like he was traveling safely, but they literally had a fly swatter and be like, Mr. Biden, Mr. Vice President, please hold on to this and take a picture, because it looked like his picture. I wish we could show it on the audio form, but his face literally looks like like he's kind of smirking. Like I don't know if you could tell, he's kind of smirking in the way.
Yeah,
like, he's like, really, we're really doing this? But then, hey, best ideas come in the moment.
I'm telling you, who knows? Maybe this was a planted fly.
Yeah,
they just feel like, oh, let's just throw a fly out there and see what happens.
A drone controlled fly. Like
also, like, how did you not? I know it's on his hair, but you gotta know for 2 minutes there's a fly on you. Like, come on, dude.
Anything that feels like it's crawling on my leg, I slap it immediately.
Yeah,
like,
same. Again, maybe he didn't want to slap his own head on the middle of national TV.
What if he missed?
That's what I'm saying. He just would have slapped his own head, like knocks himself over.
Yeah.
Just the total like, oopsie, I'm not drunk.
Clearly the 10-foot high plexiglass dividers between Senator Harris and Vice President Pence did not stop the fly from flying on Mike Pence's head. So
no. You gotta wonder, is the phrase gonna be changed from "I want to be a fly on the wall" to "I want to be a fly on his head"?
Dude had the best seat in the house. Hopefully he doesn't get COVID.
Yeah. Could you imagine? Fly test positive for COVID-19. What the hell? How'd that happen?
Well, like I said, make sure you're registered to vote. If you feel the need to vote, make sure you vote for who you believe in. And hopefully that someone will tell you, or you will tell someone, when there's a fly on someone or your own head. So that concludes our first segment for today. On to the next two segments. Now, Matt, I was very cryptic in my vague in my next two topics. So the next one I have, what's the word? So this was inspired by a podcast I listened to. It's called The Tripod. The official name is called What's the Word with Eugene, who's one of the members of The Tripod. And the way that it works is Eugene is on a random word generator, generates a word. And it's much easier when there's more people. So there's a group of 5 that's all together. Group of 4 for the Try Guys, but then their podcast gremlin, as I call them, Miles, a group of 5. And they get the word and they have to react to that word. And whichever perspective is closest to Eugene gets the points. Now, I thought it'd just be fun to randomly generate a word and we discuss it. And it almost sounds like Take It to a degree, but I'm going to leave it for later on in the show. So, Matt, any questions before we start?
No, I think I'm ready. I think this is, we'll see where this goes.
All right, so this is on randomwordgenerator.com. I kid you not. So, number of words run 1. We are only using nouns, and there's no first letter or last letter thing, so you won't see any consistency. So, the first word we have for today is year.
Oh, this is like the worst year ever.
Right?
2020 just sucks. What do you think would have to happen in 2021 for everyone to be like, you know what, 2020 was worth it?
World hunger stops.
Okay, that's probably, yeah, you're not wrong. Like, I don't even think a vaccine would make up for it at this point.
Vaccine for COVID. They somehow find a way to cure cancer. Wow, I'm actually really setting myself high expectations for this.
I think it's gonna have to be something big. Like, we're gonna have to have like world peace or something like that.
Betty White is still alive.
I hope so. It's always crazy when like Betty White's trending on Twitter. You're like, oh no, what happened? And then it's like, oh, she's in a new movie or TV show, or she was on a talk show. Like, you didn't have to do that to me.
Matt, you get a job. How about that?
Yeah, that would help.
That would help. I'd be very happy for you.
Yes.
I'd be
student loan debt gets evaporated.
Yeah, even though
college students. Could you imagine like the day if they would evaporate student loan debt, the world is going to burn down. America will be in flames.
As if it isn't already.
Well, that'll actually be in flames.
All right, next word. Society. Society
Weird.
sucks.
We're just getting the best words ever. Wow. Society. Society's in a weird place right now.
I feel like we are very polarized. Now, I don't want to say we're a bunch of snowflakes, but I feel like things are very emotionally charged at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like as a society, we can't agree on a lot of things right now.
Correct.
Which, again, is why it's nice to have the fly. Society gets to come together for a little bit. Or, sports like the Super Bowl should be, if they make it to the Super Bowl, will be a nice way for society to kind of come together and enjoy something for a few hours.
Yeah, I feel like that's enough on society because I feel like we talk about it in years. So, all right, next one. Skill.
What do you think the biggest skill is needed
to
run a podcast?
Planning. I could talk a lot from the technical perspective, but I feel like that gets developed when you keep doing it. But how you keep doing it is by your plan. I feel like Matt, we kind of had it easy where I was like, just give me the audio clips and I'll put them together, and we got that covered. But I feel like what we more focused on was the planning of the podcast and actually starting it. That's a big thing too, is starting the podcast.
Yeah, I would say that too. I also think like you just have to try stuff. Like we didn't know if Take It was going to work or Dude That's Effing Crazy was going to work. So you just got to try stuff, and if people like it, you keep going with it. If they don't like it, oh well, they'll still come back and you just try something else.
And even with just us doing it remotely, like I feel like that's opened up much more opportunity and being like, well, like Matt, you or I need to go down or come up or go down to each other's residencies and be able to do the podcast. We've been able to do this podcast remotely and sprinkled in a couple of in-person podcasts at the time, like last week. So,
yeah, it helps to be versatile, and you got to adapt because some technical problems are going to come up, and you just got to chug along.
Knock on wood. All right, next word.
Oh no.
Village.
Village.
You know what the first thought that came to my head?
What? Village people?
Village people.
That was the first thing that came in my mind too.
Young man, there's no need to get down. I said young man.
Do you think when they were writing YMCA, they were like, yeah, this is a banger. Like, this is going to be played for years. Or do you think they were just like, let's see what happens here? I feel like if you write the YMCA, this is going to be a banger.
My best joke in the world, and this is a short little story. So when we were doing groundbreaking for our science building, everybody got those hard hats. I'm like, man, we need a police hat and an Indian hat, and we got ourselves a band here, guys. That's always my ongoing joke if I see any of those hats, and I always mention the rest of them. I probably forgot the rest of them myself. Is there a sailor hat included in that?
I don't think so. I think it's just 5. It's
village
policeman, fireman.
Police? Really? There's a fireman?
I think there's a fireman. To be honest, I really don't know. I'm just kind of bullshitting at this point, which is what I do every podcast.
What a photo. So there's an Indian. There's a motorcycle. Oh, wait, they change costumes often. Hang on a minute.
Uh-oh.
What is going on here?
Is that like a tribute village band?
Nope. This is probably it. The Village People Wars. Yep. Okay. So there's an Indian costume. There's a cowboy costume. Looks like a telephone worker, but like he has a hard hat, so I could say construction worker.
Okay.
A policeman, army men.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it looks like a biker dude by the looks of.
Is there 6 people in the Village People?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6, man.
Damn, I only thought there was 5. The more you know. The Village People, what went through their minds when they were like, you know what? Let's make all these different things a band. Like, what was the thought process in that?
You didn't hear it, but I started playing the YMCA on YouTube, so I literally just got the YMCA. You won't hear it in the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, but I just got it. I was like, oh, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 in this one.
Yeah, that's why I
What
say
is
I don't.
this?
I don't think an army person's right.
No, he's in there.
Really?
Army person looks like let me see here.
Not
That
caught
looks
up
like-
on my village people.
Wait,
history.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 people now.
All right,
Whatever.
this is
This is
has gone off the rails.
which is why I wanted to do this. All
Shout
right.
out village people.
Shout out the village people if you're listening. All right, next one. Education.
Education connection. You ever hear that? You ever hear that
Yes.
commercial? I don't know why that was the first thing on my head. Education. I am sick and tired of grad school. Tell you
Okay.
that. Yeah. Can't
I-
wait for it to be over.
I was gonna say it's the most important thing of your life if you don't actually, if you're not like
Well,
the stress,
it
the
is.
stress you have to get over. But like obviously, I am more than welcome and open to your what do you call it? Your criticisms of grad school. So, but in due turn, it's gonna pay off eventually.
It will. I hate it. I just hate it.
All right, that's it for education because we're talking about podcasting here.
Yep.
Okay, that was already.
What do we got next?
We have. I'm just gonna click a bunch of times because I feel like it's
Yep,
coming up
that
again.
works.
Cookie.
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 Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster.
Did you know they tried to make? I think this is a fact. I could be lying, but they tried to make the Cookie Monster eat vegetables.
I feel like I've heard of that before.
Yeah. Like, why not make like a veggie monster?
I
Like his cousin. His cousin could be the veggie monster. Like, you
All right.
still got to eat cookies once in a while. Like, cookies are great.
I
What's
have
your
to s-
favorite cookie?
chocolate chip.
Like, what brand?
Homemade.
Oh, okay.
I'm not opposed to Famous Amos to a degree. I don't know if it's just
Is it
because
good?
it's not because it's influenced because my grandpa's name is Amos.
Okay.
Chips Ahoy's not that bad.
I love chips. Chips Ahoy Chewy is phenomenal.
Actually, a chocolate chip cookie ice cream sandwich.
Yes.
Now that slaps.
A chipwich.
A chipwich.
Yes.
Never heard of that terminology.
You've never heard of a chipwich?
Never heard of a chipwich.
Oh my gosh,
before.
that's like very common. What was it? I was just gonna ask you something. I can't remember. Are you a crispy cookie guy or a chewy cookie guy?
chewy.
Yeah.
Are we gonna go back?
I like a
Switch
little
bacon
bit of a I like
cookies.
a little bit of both. Like a little crunch, but it's also gotta be chewy, like in the middle.
I love when they're right out of the oven.
Yes. Oh, there's so good. Oh,
So good.
nothing better
Especially
than a warm
milk.
cookie
And milk.
and milk. Yeah,
You
you
need
you
some
can't
milk.
not eat cookies without milk.
You need some milk. All right, ready for the next one?
Yep.
We'll do 2 more.
Okay.
Sample.
Sample. I'm gonna be honest. I don't have anything off the top of my head that's clicking.
I thought of the free samples at Sam's Club.
Oh, that's like free samples at Costco. I would literally go before COVID with my parents to Costco, like around lunchtime, just to eat lunch. Like the free samples are amazing.
Yeah, I was a picky eater way back then, probably more than ever. Like now, I'm okay with it. But I just remember there were so many samples available for Sam's Club, and I was like, yeah, I'm not about that. Now I'd probably be like, sample, okay, sample, okay.
The samples
Sample?
are the best
Okay.
part of it all. They're the best part. They make the whole trip awesome.
All right, last one, Matt. I'm just gonna click a bunch, and I'm gonna look at you, stare
Yep.
deep into your eyes as we go through this, and relationship.
What's that? I don't know what that's like.
Well, Matt, it's when somebody and somebody else fall deeply in love with each other.
Are you explaining how babies are made right now?
No, I'm not.
Would you like to do that?
That's the stork.
Start? No. Is it
Yes,
stork?
it's a stork.
I feel no.
It's a stork.
I feel like that's not the name of it.
Then what is it? A quail?
I was gonna say Stark,
pelican?
but
You think
is
it's
it a
Tony
stork?
Stark?
I feel like
It's a
I
stork.
was, but I feel like I don't know. Maybe it is stork. I just haven't heard of it in a while. I know it kind of looks like a pelican. I know it's not a pelican.
It's a
Yeah, I guess it is a stork.
Yes. But I think a relationship, Matt, it's a little more, it's time for advice time. I feel like if somebody is going through college, now I can't really say it's more of exclusive than it is inclusive, but you go through college, I feel like you're going to make better friends at college than you will in high school.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And as I've seen on TikTok, a relationship should be 50-50. One person finds the spider and the other person kills it.
That's 100% fair. But Matt, you will actually be getting something in the mail soon. That's
Uh-oh.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh no. I'm nervous.
So that was our random. What's the word for today? We might do that next week. Not next week. We might do that later on because that was actually pretty fun. So on to the last topic for today, Matt. We got a couple minutes. This will probably fly by.
Okay.
We are doing another game.
I love
and
games.
this game is about Facebook, and specifically the Facebook Marketplace.
Oh no.
So I scoured literally the Facebook and was looking up some things on the Facebook Marketplace. Matt, what I'm going to do, since we're virtual, I will put it up in the post edit if somebody's watching the YouTube channel. I will show you the photo. I will give you the description or the title. You have to guess the price.
Okay, that's fine.
So, any questions before we start?
No, I think I'm ready. I think I'm going to conquer this.
All right, man. So the first one we have for today is a lovely Texas Instruments calculator, scientific math school supplies. There was no description in it.
Ooh, that's tough.
As you can see, I'm going to describe it as you take on. It is a small calculator. I feel like it wouldn't be acceptable in my Algebra 1 or 2 class.
No.
No graphing calculator. Graphing calculators,
No.
of course, the GOAT.
Yeah, that would add on some value to it.
Some interest, some decent condition. That it actually works. You see that it's turned on.
Yep.
There is a 0 to it. Matt, what is the price of this calculator?
I can't imagine it's super high. I am going to say like $15.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer.
You are
Outrageous.
high.
Okay, 5.
You are low. I'll give you
10.
that. You're close. It's $8.
Who makes something $8? That is the. Why would you not make it like $5 or $10? Are you kidding me? That
All right.
person should not get $8 for that calculator, by the way.
All right, man. You're on to the next product. I have 5. Yeah, I have 5. All right,
Okay.
here we go. Next product is a lovely mail carrier vehicle for United States Postal Service. We got brand new mail carrier, car scale 1 to 32. Side doors slides open. Back doors slide up. We got some pullback action in this toy car, and it's so cool. It's so cool gift for your mail carrier. Matt, what is the price of this mail carrier vehicle?
So this is a toy?
It is a scale of 1 to 32. So yes,
Okay.
it is a toy.
So this is a weird toy. I don't know why anyone would. Maybe you get this to scare your dog. I don't know.
It's a perfect gift for my mom.
That's true. That's also true. I am gonna say that is, I don't know, $12.50.
You are low.
Oh, I'll give one more guess. I'm gonna let's go $20.
You are high. Yeah, one more.
$16.
Close. It's 15.
Yeah, I was gonna say 15. That's
man.
again. I think that's a high price for that.
Yeah. All right. So the next one is a little interesting. So I will give you the benefit of the doubt if you feel like I'm not being clear.
Okay.
The description of this was no description, but it was called miscellaneous. But I will do the duty and service to you. I thought that's a mail carrier car. Technical difficulties. So I thought these were shot glasses. They actually look like cups. So they look like cups from Cartoon Network. I see Tom and Jerry. I see The Land Before Time. I see Bugs Bunny up there. Some Disney and Cartoon Network. Some Goofy and Donald Duck. Was Donald Duck a part of like the Three Caballeros or something like that?
I couldn't tell you.
All right, Matt.
But I will say I did have growing up. We had Pokemon cups.
I did too.
Yeah, like
Yes!
the little jar. They looked like a jar.
Right.
Yeah, we had a Psyduck one, and I can't remember the other one. But am I gonna say the how many are there? Am I saying the price for the total?
Total. So this picture is the price. So like don't go too deep into it. Like
Okay.
whatever you see is the price.
I think this could be kind of high. Kind of. I'm gonna say like, well, it's Facebook Marketplace. Let's go with 25.
You're high.
High. Okay. Let's go 20.
You're still high. Last guess.
10.
You're low. It's $15.
I was gonna say 15 again. That's not a bad price for that, honestly.
All right, man. Next
Is
one.
is this like The Price is Right? Like I guess it and you buy it for me?
No.
Oh,
I'm not buying any of this crap from you.
damn it.
Especially this next one. So, Matt, have you checked lately if your horses are in the back?
Always.
Yeah, horse stock is attached.
Yes.
So this next one, we have a white musical hobby horse. This one, there was two of them. I picked this one. This one actually neighs. So it has a button
does?
that makes it neigh. So
That's pretty sick.
So it's a nice white horse. Those little hobby horses, if anybody doesn't know, if they are listening to the podcast, it's the stick, and at the end of the stick is the head of the horse. So it's just something you put between your legs and you.
This is a tough one.
Yep.
Like the fact that it neighs definitely adds some value to it. I am gonna say $10.
You are low.
I'm low. Oh God, $15.
You are still low.
Oh my God, no! This person's not getting this much money. $25.
You're high. I'll give you one more guess.
20.
It's 19.
Oh my, you suck. $19 for that. Oh my God. Some people need to realize that some things aren't worth that much money.
There was some interesting ones. All right, Matt. Last one. This
Yep.
one you might get. I don't know.
Okay.
So I thought I would put something in your alley because we got the sports topics coming up. It is a Super Bowl framed ticket display. So this absolute beautiful professionally framed Super Bowl ticket display. These are extremely hard to find, with most not in great frame displays. Features 33 Super Bowl tickets and center program display of Super Bowl 10, 20, X,
Roman
X,
numerals that
I,
you don't
V.
know.
I know V is 5. Do you add to it? Yeah, whatever.
Yes. I don't know.
Whatever.
Um,
On the bottom of the display, you'll find two metal pieces featuring teams who played in past Super Bowls from 1967 to 2000. Two areas are malted out for NFL pins, professionally framed at Hobby Lobby. Matt, what is the price of this Super Bowl frame ticket display?
see, this could be pretty pricey.
I will give you, it is under $800.
Okay.
I will give you that.
Okay. I am gonna say my first guess is going to be 600 even.
You are high, stay on the even. I'm trying to help you.
Okay. 400.
Damn it, I am buying you this. It is $400.
Yes, let's go. That's actually not a terrible price for that.
No, I mean,
I don't think it is.
based on the tickets that are there and it's professionally framed, I think you're okay to go. So
Yeah.
well, Matt, that concludes Facebook Marketplace. You will be getting those in the next couple business days, so I'll be on the lookout for that. But
I
that
can't wait.
no, I'm just kidding.
God damn it.
That concludes our segment for entertainment for today. When we come back, Matt has his sports topics. You don't want to miss this.
Hey guys, it's Matt. As we all know, it's almost time for the election. But even though this is a presidential election, there are many more candidates on the ballot besides the president. Local elected officials affect our lives every day. They decide who to prosecute, monitor the quality of our drinking water, and choose the leadership of our schools. It's important to vote informed, and Ballot Ready is here to help. Go to Ballot Ready now for a nonpartisan guide to your entire ballot. From there, you can compare candidates based on stances on issues, biography, or endorsements, and then save your choices to use when you vote by mail or in the voting booth. You can even request your absentee ballot or make a plan to vote early or on election day. I checked out Ballot Ready myself, and I gotta say, it is super easy to use. I definitely plan on using it more as we get closer to the election. And remember, this election matters. Make sure you have a plan to vote and vote informed. Go to ballotready.org and enter your address to make a plan to vote and vote informed.
Matt, I got to tell you, I am so happy we're continuing to make more episodes for our podcast.
You're so right, Mike. I really am enjoying hearing how awesome each episode is every week from everyone. It's so easy to do.
It is so easy. And we have Anchor, our sponsor for this episode, to thank for. Anchor is free to anyone that wants to start a podcast. It's easy for beginners with the creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also helps distribute our podcasts so our listeners can tune in to their platform of choice, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more.
And Mike, I gotta tell you, I was skeptical before, but we actually are making a profit off this podcast. We are still a small podcast, but it's nice to see the progress we have made with each episode with that money.
Yes, we are making it rain. Kind of. Anchor is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm.
And who knows, you may start a podcast with your best friend.
That's right. Roommates for life.
Okay, let's slide into the sports segments for today. We're going to start with some basketball, but before we get to the NBA, we're going to start with the WNBA. It is about time we talked about the WA on this show and this podcast because they did a great job this season. So the season obviously got delayed because of COVID, and they did their entire season in the bubble in Orlando. They had a 22-game season, and they just concluded last week. The Seattle Storm swept the Las Vegas Aces in the finals. They actually had their first round and second round were a single elimination. So it was winner take all game. And then when they got to the third round, which was technically the semifinals, they started to play a 5-game series, I believe. So congratulations to Storm for finishing the season. What I wanted to talk about, Mike, when you think of WNBA players, is there anyone that comes to your mind that like you think of as like one of the greatest?
Isn't Maya Moore one of them?
She's one of them. Maya Moore actually had an interesting season. So she hasn't played the last 2 years.
Is it because she's one of those just because I don't watch it that much. She's one of those individuals that was set out to become a lawyer. And
so she was helping a man who was
wrongly convicted
of a crime come out of jail, which he actually did get out of jail this past season, and then they actually got married, which was pretty cool. So one of the big WNBA considered the GOAT is Diana Taurasi, but I'm here to say I think we have a new GOAT debate in basketball in the WNBA. I think it could be Sue Bird. So they both longtime players. I'm going to read some stats off to you, and based on these stats, I want you to tell me who the GOAT is.
Okay. So
Sue Bird just won with the Seattle Storm. She's a 4-time WNBA champion and 11-time All-Star. She is the 5-time All-WNBA first team and 3-time second team. She's the all-time leading scorer in assists and is 8th all-time in scoring. Pretty significant numbers.
Okay.
Then Diana Taurasi is a 3-time WNBA champion, 9-time All-Star, 2 times WNBA Finals MVP, a 10-time first-team All-WNBA, 4-time second-team All-WNBA, and is the all-time WNBA scoring leader. Now, I think Diana Taurasi gets known as the GOAT because of her college and international career. But when we talk like MJ versus LeBron, we'll get into that. We think their NBA career. I think based on their WNBA career, I would go with Sue Bird.
I was too closely paying attention to numbers. What was first and what was second? What did you mention first? What was
so Sue Bird has one more NBA Finals. Yes.
Okay, Sue Bird and Taurasi.
Yes.
I don't know. I felt like Taurasi stuck out to me more than Sue.
Really?
For some reason. Yeah. I just feel like for the all NBA, all WNBA team, I feel like although like I know like championships are the big thing. Like if you're a best player, you should be getting championships all the time. But I feel like having a notoriety of being on the all WNBA team, like you have the skill to be on what is considered the best team in the WNBA, a 10-time WNBA all-team player. So I get like championships are one thing, which is probably something we'll discuss in the next topic, but I think as far as that, I felt like Taurasi stuck out to me more than Sue Bird.
I feel like that might be the case. I feel like she was a forward, so she was able to stand out a little more, where Bird is a point guard who's got to try to facilitate. Right. The only reason I really brought this conversation up is because Sue Bird, like LeBron, is in her 17th season and is still performing at an all-time level, which is just pretty great. But all in all, WNBA had a great season. Congrats to them. They, like the NBA, had no COVID cases during the season, and it all went well. And again, they also dedicated their entire season to Breonna Taylor, which is pretty cool, and they did a lot of social justice work the whole season, so props to them. But let's move on to the NBA. Season is over. The 2019-2020 season, almost a year to when it started, is finally over. The Lakers have won the championship.
Thank God.
And the big focus everyone's talking about is LeBron. He's now 4-6 in the finals, 4-time NBA Finals MVP, and the first player ever to win Finals MVP with 3 different teams. I think he's still not the GOAT, but the conversation is becoming more prevalent because he won another championship.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you stand on the whole GOAT debate? Because we are coming off The Last Dance, and I think we both learned a lot from The Last Dance, and I still think MJ is the GOAT, but it's becoming closer.
Yeah, I am a firm believer that Michael Jordan is obviously the GOAT because, you know, I think having LeBron on year 17 and still has a couple more years on him, like, I feel like having that discussion, we can say, like, okay, well, maybe LeBron's going to win another couple championships in the next few years. Then we can have that true discussion of, you know, is he really the greatest of all time? But I felt like we got more of an in-depth story as to why Michael Jordan was the GOAT. And I feel like we'll never have that discussion with LeBron until we actually see the background of LeBron. You know, kind of talking about the NBA Finals a little bit more. I was very upset 2 weeks last week and this past week. God, it feels like it was a long run. Holy crap.
It's like a time lapse we have.
Right. I was very upset with LeBron last week. I wasn't upset with him this week. What I was more upset about, and I will mention it, is Rajon Rondo does not start for the Los Angeles Lakers, and coming off the bench probably had one of the best game performances coming off the bench, and I don't understand why he's not starting.
I was thinking about this, and I agree. I thought Rondo should start. Their roster is bad. Like, outside of LeBron and Anthony Davis, here's guys that just won an NBA champion. Dwight Howard. JaVale McGee won his 3rd NBA championship. J.R. Smith won his 2nd. Now, J.R. Smith doesn't play, but he was also shirtless before the game ended. Alex Caruso is now an NBA champion. Kyle Kuzma is now an NBA champion. Danny Green, with how awful he performed, NBA champion. Dion Waiters was suspended by the Heat earlier this season because he had a panic attack on a plane because he took an edible. He is now an NBA champion. This roster is bad, so maybe they needed someone to come off the bench to give them a spark.
I just have to mention, because I feel like it's worth noting, Matt and I were watching the NBA Finals. We were not together, unlike last week's game, and we synchronized our text messages when it was like the final few minutes in the last seconds of the game. So we both sent each other a text that Dwight Howard just made a 3.
Which was just an all-time Dwight Howard move when you're up 13. I'll just shoot this.
And then we both texted at the same time, J.R. Smith is already shirtless. And like, it literally said the same text, is already shirtless.
J.R. Smith remains king of celebrating
of course,
the NBA
he's
champion.
The first one to freaking touch the NBA Finals trophy of all people. He didn't even play.
He doesn't play at all anymore. That's the classic J.R. Smith move.
And also, too, I listen, no disrespect to Frank Vogel, but like, I felt like he's literally the hype man. He's like, we won an NBA champion. Woo! Like,
he did do a lot of defensive adjustments.
But he also felt like to that interview to me, now of course you can't judge a book by its cover, but to that interview to me, he's like, I don't know what I'm doing, but yeah, we won an NBA championship.
I think he's a good coach.
He is. I felt like it would have been better if we had like Doc Rivers interviewing, or Coach Pop, or Steve Kerr, even, of all people, like Tom Thibodeau, like having all these people that like have years of experience and like can talk about the game rather than just, yeah, we won an NBA championship. Also, too, Ginny Buss, who is the owner of the Lakers, is the first female to ever win a NBA championship as the owner. So props to her.
That was a cool moment. That was very cool.
It was really cool.
Props to us. We both said Lakers in 6. So we're kind of on a roll predicting stuff on this show. This is what we do, no big deal. He had a very good season. I think they'll be back to the finals, maybe not next year, but sometime soon.
Poor Spoelstra. He was crying during a post-game interview.
That was tough. I didn't really see that one coming.
I felt that.
Yeah.
Like, that was,
I feel like he thought in his mind, if the Heat would have won this, like, he would have been solidified as one of the greatest coaches ever. Because now he won a championship without D-Wade, LeBron, and Chris Bosh. I feel like that was a big legacy for him, but I think he still made a good name for himself because no one thought they were going to get to the finals.
Right. Absolutely.
Not many free agents out there, but I think it's a given Anthony Davis is probably going to re-sign with the Lakers.
I would. You better.
And then I think they have a lot of work to do this offseason because overall the Clippers roster is still better, I feel like,
Right.
on paper. Like outside of LeBron and AD, you don't really have much.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know. I mean, it was kind of crazy how the Nuggets took over. Like that was
Yeah.
we were all expecting. Like it was like when LeBron was in Cleveland and Kobe was still with the Lakers. We were expecting that Cleveland Cavaliers versus Los Angeles Lakers finals, and we got Los Angeles Lakers and Orlando Magic.
Yeah. Freaking Dwight Howard.
Good lord.
Dwight Howard ruined it all. Back to the MJ LeBron thing real quick. I think LeBron's best case for a lot of people acknowledging he's the GOAT if he goes 6-6 in the finals. He definitely can't lose another one.
No, he can't.
If he gets 6 rings and then is able to say, not only did I tie MJ, but I played in double the amount of finals that he did, I think that would probably solidify him as the GOAT.
That's kind of like opportunities, like for the like. Again, I think this is a discussion. Like, you know, if you have X amount of opportunities, if you have X more amount of opportunities than some individual, is your ERA, let's put it that way, is your batting average. Is your batting average better if you batted more, or is your batting average better if you hit the amount of times you got up to bat?
I don't know. I feel like if he wins 3 titles as like 35 years and older, that'd be pretty impressive. Because think about it, he went through finals in like his 4th year in the league when he had no business in taking that team to the finals.
Right.
And that's something that MJ took a while. He had to wait till he got Phil Jackson and Scottie Pippen, and then they brought in Dennis Rodman. Like LeBron, like he had D Wade and Bosh, but like outside of those finals, like he's kind of been the guy for the league for the past 15 years, which is something that I don't like. MJ left the game. People don't talk about that. MJ literally left the game because he didn't want to play basketball anymore. And LeBron's still doing this at age 35. I don't know.
I feel like we're gonna have this discussion forever. Like,
We probably will, and then
like-
who knows? KD will come into the conversation, and Luka Doncic.
that is who I'm worried about next season. Is
Yeah, then that's what I mean.
Kyrie
Yeah.
and KD coming on full swing with the
I've
Eastern
heard-
Conference.
I've heard rumors they might be looking at Bradley Beal too.
That actually will be a nice
That
touch.
that would be crazy. Like that would be a crazy 3-headed monster.
Yeah, an ugly one.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, and Steve Nash is the new coach. We'll see how he does. I'm excited for next NBA season. I don't think they announced the starting date yet. They did push it back to 2021.
They gave Adam Silver, who again I props to him, gave a
Yeah.
$1,000 bonus to every player, and gave them a few days off
Yeah, that was to the
Extra?
league employees.
to the league employees.
Yes, yeah, they got like 4 Fridays off.
I was just like, $1,000 for these players probably are just chump change, but now that makes sense.
Yeah, no, props to Adam Silver. I mean, to be able to have this season when everyone doubted the bubble and said it wasn't going to work, they didn't have one positive case. That's pretty impressive.
Right.
That's enough basketball talk for now. Let's move to football for a little bit. So we had the Battle of Pennsylvania this past weekend. Steelers won. Suck it, Philly fans.
Suck it.
Eagles fans.
Oh, we won't mention them.
No, wait, no. But we
Never.
know. You know.
You
listening to
know.
this. If
Listen.
you're listening to this and you're an Eagles fan, you know we're talking
Uh-huh.
about you.
Especially if you work at the Eagles game sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Suck it, dude.
Suck it, dude.
Eagles fans are already hopping off the Carson Wentz bandwagon, which I don't agree with. I know you don't watch the game. I did. Wentz actually played well, and Eagles fans are still shitting on him. Like they need to relax. Like
That's
that whole
Philadelphia
division
for you.
is a shit show. No, I'm glad. Like Eagles fans, Philly fans are back. They don't care that they won a championship. They want to win now, and they still think they're the only team in the league that gets affected by bad calls and injuries, when in fact every team does. So Philly fans are back, and it's great. The other big NFL news, they have a COVID problem, and it's not looking bad, but it's also not looking good. Like they made a lot of schedule changes this past weekend, and I feel like the Titans are finally playing, as of recording this podcast on Tuesday, they're playing the Bills. I'll give my prediction for that in a little bit. But like I feel like this isn't quite gonna work out, which we also said it wasn't gonna work out for the MLB, but like it's different because this is a contact sport, and now they're starting to test guys on game days, which they didn't do the first half
But-
of the season. I feel like they're panicking.
I hate to say it, but let's go back to Adam Silver, where basketball is considered a contact sport to a degree.
It is.
Like 0 cases. Had 0 cases in the bubble, which makes no sense. Why isn't anybody else following the model that Adam Silver put together?
I think it's tough to do a bubble for football because you don't have the amount of football fields needed
Well,
to do a bubble.
Put it in a park. Like that's like a park.
Yeah.
I know I'm like throwing like fantasy stuff, but like Fight Island's coming together. Like
It is, but there's a lot like an octagon takes up like a room. Like football fields,
100 yards. I get it.
it's 100 yards, but at the same time, like you can only play one game a week, so you pretty much have to play all the games in like a 2-day slot or a 3-day slot. Like they don't have enough facilities to do that.
Big man. I still feel like there could have been a way where you could double, like you could put 2 fields. Like I don't know.
I don't know. That's tough. Like on paper, it looks good for the NFL, but it's very tough.
Let's just ask the XFL. Let's see what they say.
Well, they're already pushing off to 2022, which is crazy enough. So there was no Thursday night football this week because of the schedule change. But as of recording this podcast, there was a Tuesday night football game, Bills Titans. I'm gonna give my prediction for that. I did lose my first prediction last week. The Bears did beat the Bucks,
The Bears.
but I'm gonna say the Bills are gonna beat the Titans solely because I don't like the Titans anymore because they messed up the Steelers' schedule and now we don't have a bye week the rest of the season. So I'm gonna say Bills 28-17. Titans also just haven't been able to practice, so I don't think they're gonna play well. Let's see. Okay, we hit basketball. We hit football. Is there
This
any
was
other
the move that made
is there any
LeBron
other-
James cry.
Is there any other big sports going on right now? I don't oh yeah, Rafael Nadal won the French Open.
And Cristiano
beat
Ronaldo
Djokovic.
tested positive for
I did
coronavirus.
see that. Yeah. I mean,
Poor
there's
guy.
no baseball news to talk about, is there?
Matt,
I don't, what?
there's literally Yankee stuff all behind you.
Oh, well, yeah.
Is
I guess,
that what you're trying to do? Is
I-
put it behind you?
Yeah. Well, I am. So we'll talk about the Yankees.
Even. Go ahead.
I'm very heated about this.
I know.
I
let
want
me-
Aaron Boone fired.
let me. ooh, wow. Okay.
Just
let me
throwing
just-
that out there.
Let me just put it in context that Matt was at my house last week and we were watching both the NBA Finals and the ALCS. And there was times where Matt was freaking out and I thought he was freaking out over the NBA. No, he was freaking out over the ALCS. Think about it. The speed comparison between the NBA and the MLB, he was more upset over the MLB than he was with some of the plays of the NBA.
Well, that's because the Suns weren't playing in the finals, and the Yankees are my team. So Aaron Boone lost the series, like hands down. So if you didn't pay attention, in Game 2, the one that we watched together,
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I see where
so
you're coming from.
he took out the second best pitcher all year, Davey Garcia. Now, granted, he's a rookie. Took him out in Game 2 to put in Jay Happ, who is the worst pitcher on the staff, one of the most inconsistent guys in baseball, and he took him out after an inning. What sense does that make? To take out your second best pitcher to put in a guy who sucks.
I mean, literally, if you have an injury, that's probably the only stipulation for somebody being taken out in the first inning. But I was upset just as much as you were, Matt. Just with that, like you get the guy the groove. Like unless he's
Yeah.
getting slammed 10-0, he was doing okay.
Yeah, he gave up one run in the first,
Right.
but like it was just a bad pitch. Like he was your second most consistent pitcher behind Garrett Cole, who it was absolutely worth the money because he pitched great in the postseason.
Yeah.
And then not only that, a week before the playoffs start, you say Clint Frazier is your everyday left fielder. And then you come to the playoffs, the first game you play, he's not starting, and he doesn't start in 4 of the 7 playoff games. That's not an everyday left fielder. That's a utility player.
Yeah, it's
So Aaron Boone, there was a lot of instances throughout the season where a guy would sit out a game and he's like, "Oh no, it's just rest," and then the next day he gets put on the IL. Like he tries to cover up some stuff. Like it just didn't make any sense. The moves he made with the bullpen made no sense. I'm done with him. Like they're not going to fire him, but they should.
Maybe they should bring Joe Girardi back.
I wish they could, honestly. I'll tell you, a guy I would love, I don't think he wants to manage, Paul O'Neill.
Oh my
listening.
God, he'd be. I've been thinking about him like ever since they started searching. I'm like, Paul O'Neill would be great.
Yes. I was listening to him after the Game 5 loss when they got eliminated. He was going off on the team, and like everything he said was on point. I was like, you know what, Paul, you're great on yes, but let's have a stab at it.
Yes. He'd still be in the same stadium. Like, maybe you could broadcast a couple games. Like, you could trade.
Yeah,
like,
just have live interviews during the broadcast. That'd be pretty cool.
be mic'd up the entire time.
Yeah, who knows? But
also, we want to send our condolences to the Ford family for Whitey Ford passing away.
Yes, Whitey Ford. That was tough, passing away the day of Game 5, and then everyone was like, oh, we're going to win this for Whitey, and then they didn't. But, chairman of the board, probably the greatest pitcher in Yankees history.
Heck yeah.
No disrespect to Mariano, but he was like 94, which is just insane to think about.
Crazy.
But the rest of the baseball roundup, as of right now, the Rays are up on the Astros 2-0, and the Braves beat the Dodgers last night. So hopefully we won't have another Astros-Dodgers World Series. Because
I don't like the replays.
No. Also, we got to shout out the MLB. Great marketing. They put Game 1 of the ALCS against the Houston Astros and the Tampa Bay Rays. They put that up on Sunday at 7:30, the exact time that the NBA's Finals is tipping off, and against Sunday Night Football. No casual fan tuned into that game. I didn't even tune into that game. The MLB, Rob Manfred he is back to being an idiot. What sense? Like, I know they didn't know the Yankees weren't going to make it, but you can make schedule changes. Like, put the game on start at Monday. You don't need to go up against the NBA Finals.
I mean, these guys get paid to play, so whenever they play, they get
paid. They do,
so.
But from a marketing standpoint, no one was going to watch the game, and no one did watch the game.
No, not at all. I didn't even tune in. Like, I mean, usually when the Yankees are gone, I'm like, see you later. Like, I'll get the results when I get the news on my Twitter. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
It's tough for the MLB. They have to be rooting for an Astros-Dodgers World Series. But if they get like Tampa Bay, Atlanta, yikes. Those TV ratings are not going to be good. It's going to be ugly.
That's awful.
I think that's it for the sports segments officially. It is now time for Take It. So this week for Take It, I came up with this one on my own.
Oh, dear God.
It is actually kind of food related, but it's a fun food related one. So this is the debate. It's not going to be we're coming up with our own tickets. I'm just going to dive right into it.
Yep.
What is the best dipping sauce for chicken nuggets? Chicken nuggets specifically. Now we can go into other foods later, but let's start off with chicken nuggets.
Oh my God.
The best dipping sauce.
Oh man, dude, you know how much I love chicken nuggets.
I know. And you just said that you made your own Chick-fil-A sauce this past week.
Well, I can't really give myself all the credit here.
Okay, you and Jenna made your own Chick-fil-A sauce.
My sweetheart of a girlfriend decided to make Chick-fil-A sauce, which to me I thought tasted like Chick-fil-A sauce. I not unwillingly, but
what was it, like mustard and barbecue?
So it was mayo, lemon juice.
Okay.
Dijon. That usually calls for mustard, but we also did a double dip of Dijon.
Yep.
Barbecue sauce.
Yep.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Jenna's gonna be very upset with me if. Oh wait, I have it on my phone.
So I'll put this out there. I do like Chick-fil-A sauce, but I feel like it. If this makes any sense, I feel like it only works with Chick-fil-A nuggets.
Honey was the other one.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
I got all of them. You said Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, so I feel like Chick-fil-A sauce only works with Chick-fil-A nuggets because there's a lot more meat in Chick-fil-A nuggets. Like sometimes if you go to like McDonald's, sometimes it can be a little too like crispy, and I feel like Chick-fil-A sauce wouldn't work for that.
Can we handle this Take It as far as any non-branded sauces? Like, if we can keep it as not plain Jane, but like, if something like honey mustard is like, yes, absolutely. Like, but I feel like branded sauces kind of get a little bit of an edge because it is the sauce that is lost.
That's fair.
All that.
That's fair. So what sauce would you go with? Your ideal chicken nugget dipping sauce?
I don't dip most of the time. I toss.
Okay, that's fine. Same sauce to toss in.
So my toss is, you can't go wrong with buffalo buffalo sauce. Like, you could put buffalo on anything. Like, you got buffalo mac and cheese, you got buffalo chicken.
I knew where you were gonna go.
Buffalo cauliflower, even though I wouldn't eat that.
Yeah,
maybe
I've
would.
had buffalo
Maybe I
cauliflower.
would.
It's not bad.
Probably go for
It's
it.
not bad.
Buffalo shrimp.
Yes.
I'm trying to
We're
think
talking
what else.
specifically chicken nuggets.
Yeah, I mean buffalo honey mustard would be one for me, definitely. But buffalo sauce is kind of my ideal dip, for that.
I would. Yeah, I like buffalo sauce with chicken nuggets. Now, I wouldn't go spicy nuggets with buffalo sauce. Like if we're talking
No,
spicy
no.
nuggets,
Why
you
would
gotta
do
go
that?
ranch.
You know what I do? So I know I was saying like let's stay away from branded stuff, but
Yeah.
the spicy chicken nuggets at Wendy's, I get creamy sriracha with my spicy
Oh
nuggets.
wow, you're kicking up the heat. Kicking up the heat big time.
So good.
If I'm talking regular chicken nuggets, I'm going barbecue. Like just plain barbecue. Barbecue and chicken nuggets. I feel like it adds like a good tanginess to it. Like it's a good combo.
Yeah, most of
little
the time,
combo.
absolutely. But yeah, I feel like buffalo would be my ideal dipping sauce.
So let's switch up to another food.
I'm ready.
I have a hot take. I don't like ketchup with French fries.
Okay.
Like what sauce do you use for French fries?
I use ketchup.
Ketchup?
I feel like
Okay.
you can't. Well, I ketchup and honey mustard.
Yeah.
Ketchup is another one. What else have I dipped in? Buffalo sauce.
I do barbecue with French fries too.
That's
Little
not interesting.
Little barbecue, little Jones barbecue.
Foot massage.
I never did buffalo with French fries.
It's called lava fries. If you haven't.
Okay.
that was
Oh
at
yes.
Den.
Yeah. The
That was at
den.
the
You
Den.
shout out
Oh,
the Cougars Den.
frickin' Den. What a place.
Hashtag bring back the den.
I know. Did you know that it was totally off topic, but I actually became a regular at our Chick-fil-A now on campus.
Really?
I did not have to say anything. They knew what I wanted.
Wow. That's pretty awesome. That's when you know you made it.
I was fine with them typing my name in. Like, I was totally okay with that. But now you know my order.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Ranch is not bad on French fries.
Never tried it, to be honest.
Do you ever try potato chips with ranch?
I feel like I probably have.
Is it Ripples? No, it's
Yeah.
really
I did like Ruffles.
Ruffles. That's what it is.
Yes, I've done Ruffles in like ranch dip, not actually ranch, but like ranch like dip that you eat with like chips. That's pretty
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Those are pretty fire. Mm-hmm. I had where do you stand on dipping pizza in ranch?
Well, there's a local pizza shop that's right around the corner from my apartment, and usually I get, lo and behold, a buffalo chicken pizza.
Yeah.
And in most cases, they put the buffalo chicken sauce on the pizza. For just
Right.
some reason, the day that I ordered it, they literally just put chicken on the pizza, put cheese on it, and gave me ranch and buffalo sauce. I was pissed.
Yeah, I would be pissed too. 'Cause
Like,
that's not buffalo chicken
the
pizza.
hell's the point with that? Like,
Yeah, that's
it's
just the
not
chicken
buffalo
pizza
chicken,
with-
it's a
yeah.
chicken. You're right.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
I was
bullshit.
just so upset, and I'm like, ugh, like I guess I can dip it in. Like, I mean, I haven't. I'm not the total, for dipping, but like I said, if I have to do it, I guess I have to.
Yeah, I mean, but there's people that dip like cheese pizza in ranch. That's weird.
Yeah, you might
Like,
just
I
get
love-
chips
I love
for
ranch.
so, yeah.
Yeah, I love ranch, but like some things shouldn't be dipped in ranch, and like cheese pizza is one of them.
I feel like if it's enhancing it, so let's just say like you get a barbecue chicken pizza, and like they spread the barbecue chicken. Spread the barbecue sauce, and you want a little bit more. Like, oh yeah, like you got a little double dip on the pizza slip. Like, like I don't know what the hell I said.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was either, but I get what you're coming with.
I said double dip on the pizza slip.
That's the slow. You gotta trademark that.
Like thicker than a Snicker.
Yeah, thicker than a sticker. Exactly. Exactly. What is the worst sauce to dip chicken nuggets in? I would say ketchup.
I don't know. I mean, like
ketchup, but let's
I
just
can't.
just
I
check
can't
up
say
ketchup on
worst. I can't say worst. I've been leaning away more towards ketchup I will agree with you on that, but I
Yeah.
cannot say it is the worst.
I'm not a ketchup guy.
Like,
But when it comes to chicken nuggets, like, would you just dip your chicken in ketchup? Like, that seems
Yeah.
odd.
I could do that.
Ah, that's gross.
Okay. You're entitled to your own opinion. Yeah, I mean, I have not been in a situation lately where I've had to dip chicken nuggets in ketchup. It's always a side of something.
Right.
I forget. There's this one place locally down here that's called the 007 Chicken. I'm all about spice, man. You know me. I'm all about
Yes,
spicy foods.
absolutely.
Why is it spicy? I've been meaning to say that on this podcast. It's a TikTok, by the way. And I know you know. I just telling our,
Yeah,
our
well,
people that are
everyone
listening.
knows I know.
And they have this 007 chicken with their secret sauce, and the secret sauce is fantastic.
Ooh, we'll have to try that. I do have an announcement that I've been meaning to make on the show.
You're pregnant.
No,
Okay.
sadly not. So we all know a few episodes ago I proclaimed that Burger King is better than McDonald's. I'm not here to say McDonald's is better. That's not what I'm about to say. But the week after that podcast released, I went to McDonald's with a friend whose name will not be named. And I tried McDonald's spicy chicken nuggets. They are fire.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no. Like, the spicy chicken nuggets were very good. Like they're better than Wendy's spicy chicken nuggets.
I have
Yeah.
to try them now.
Yeah, no, dude, they were really good. Like, I was very impressed. I took one bite. I was like, damn, that's actually pretty good.
Now, did you get the fries?
Yes, I got fries too. I'm still not happy with the fries. But when it comes to the spicy chicken nuggets, McDonald's does pretty good.
Interesting. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, again, I remember when I was a kid, I was very picky eater. So having the ketchup as a dipping sauce for both my nuggets and my fries, I wasn't opposed to it.
Yeah. I feel like ketchup is one of those things where, like, you use a lot when you're younger, but when you get older, you realize there's better condiments out there.
What's the sauce that McDonald's has that everybody loves that's green on the top?
I think it's just secret sauce.
No.
Relish?
No. McDonald's.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
sauces.
That's
I got it.
on the Big Mac.
Sweet and sour sauce. People love sweet and sour sauce.
Yeah, I'm not a huge sweet and sour person. When it comes to like Chinese food, I like sweet and sour chicken. That's pretty much about it.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like it.
Really, the only condiment I don't do is ketchup. Unlike anything. I'm
That's
just not a ketchup
interesting.
person.
Do you do
Yeah.
mustard?
Yeah, I prefer spicy brown mustard.
Okay.
Like, I'm not a big yellow mustard person, but I could do like honey mustard. But I love spicy brown mustard on like a sausage sandwich or a hot dog.
More power to you, my friend.
Absolutely.
Oh man, are we doing more worse things, or are we
I think that's about all I got.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
that concludes another episode of the Funny Business Podcast, episode 26. Everyone, we are 4 episodes away from episode 30 or 30 or Treinta in Spanish.
We're gonna be the first podcast that people like after 30, because no one likes you when you're 30.
I thought it was 23.
No, we're gonna say it was 30. We're just gonna roll with it.
Your eyes
No.
were like crap. I just realized that.
Well, people don't like you when you're 23 either, but
No one
that's
likes
your
you
Jordan
when you're
year, so that's relevant.
any age. That's
That's also true.
So make sure, that the simple stuff, make sure you follow us on our social media. If you are new here, please consider following us or subscribing, whatever way your platform prefers you to follow or engage with us via our listening platforms. We did put out some interesting, more dad jokes last week on our social media. So if you have a chance, make sure you take a look at that. I kicked Matt's ass in it. So
Yeah, you did. That was a bad performance on my end.
very bad performance.
Not
I think-
happy. It
did I
still
win?
haunts me to this day.
Did
You
you-
did.
Did I win last during the podcast, or I don't even remember.
I think so, by like 1.
By like 1, but I
Yeah.
I blew you out of the water.
Yo, yeah, no, the after podcast episode, I sucked.
I felt so bad in post edit that when we both laughed about the Microsoft Office joke, I was like, you know what? I feel bad. I'm gonna give myself a point because I don't want to make it look horrible.
I'm gonna make up for it in a future episode at some point.
Right, absolutely. And we are hopefully going to keep on keeping on. We will make it to 30, Matt, because I did make a
absolutely.
promise that I would pass, well, at least schedule my certification for my drone flying. So I need to get
That's
that
right.
first.
Yep.
Oh, it's a daunting task, my friend. I was doing some reviews with my quizzes, and my sectional map needs some reviewing. So,
Listen, you got this, dude. We're all here for you.
dude, yeah, I hope so. So, like I said, make sure you give us a follow on our social medias. Make sure you watch us on our YouTube page. There's some interesting stuff that come out there. But other than that, Matt, any great news or any upcoming things that you want to say to the people before we go?
No, I mean Halloween's coming up. That's pretty much about it.
Are we performing a podcast? Are we publishing a podcast on?
It is the day. It's Halloween is on Saturday this year.
I feel like we should have a Halloween special on the 30th.
So I have a costume in mind that I might wear
Okay.
for the recording. So
All right. I might
keep
have
an eye
to
on
fix
that for our YouTube page.
Yes. So that is that's 2 weeks from now, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you look into our YouTube channel, but also make sure you listen to us on your favorite platforms. But until next time, guys, we'll see you all in the next episode.
Stay safe, everyone.